Welcome back to Alpha Core Health, one where we reclaim the strength that time tries to steal. Imagine sitting down to breakfast believing you are doing everything right for your body. You have chosen the fruit bowl instead of the fry up and the smoothie instead of the toast. You feel disciplined and responsible, but what if I told you that this specific healthy habit is actually a chemical signal that forces your body to lower its testosterone? For men over 50 in the UK, there is a silent betrayal happening on your breakfast plate. The very foods you trust are spiking your insulin and converting your hard-earned male hormones into estrogen. It is not about calories, it is about chemistry. Today, I will reveal which fruits are the enemies of your masculinity and which ones are your allies. If you are ready to learn the truth, comment strong men below and let us begin. We must begin by understanding the battlefield inside your body because it has changed significantly since you were 20. When you were a young man, your metabolism was like a roaring furnace that could burn through almost anything you threw at it. You could eat sugar and carbs and your body would simply use them for energy. But as you cross the threshold of 50, the rules of engagement change completely, and the central player in this drama is your liver. Most men think of their liver only when they have had a few too many pints at the pub, but in reality, your liver is the master control center for your hormones. It is the filter that decides whether you stay lean and strong or whether you become soft and tired. The problem we face today is not just sugar in general, but a specific type of sugar called fructose, which is found in high concentrations in fruit. Unlike glucose, which can be used by every cell in your body for immediate energy, fructose can only be processed by the liver. When you flood your system with fruit sugars, specifically in the morning, your liver gets overwhelmed. It is like a small factory suddenly receiving a massive shipment of raw materials that it cannot process fast enough. When the liver is overloaded with fructose, it has only one option for survival. It converts that excess energy directly into visceral fat. Visceral fat is not just the padding around your waist that makes your trousers feel tight. It is metabolically active tissue that functions like a separate organ. This is the crucial point that most doctors do not explain clearly enough to their male patients. This belly fat produces a specific enzyme called aromatase. You can think of aromatase as a thief that breaks into your house at night. It takes your testosterone molecules and chemically converts them into estrogen. This is the female hormone. This is why you see men who are not just gaining weight, but are actually losing their masculine features. They develop softer chests and wider hips, and their mood becomes more emotional and less driven. It is a biological tragedy because these men are often trying very hard to be healthy. They are eating large bowls of fruit salad, thinking they are loading up on vitamins, but in reality they are feeding the very mechanism that destroys their manhood. The liver becomes fatty and congested. The insulin levels remain chronically high. And when insulin is high, testosterone production is shut down. Insulin and testosterone are like two people trying to walk through a narrow doorway at the same time. Only one can get through. If your blood is constantly flooded with insulin from fruit sugars, your testosterone simply has to wait outside. This creates a vicious cycle that is incredibly hard to break. You feel tired, so you eat fruit for energy. The fruit spikes your insulin and adds to your liver fat. The liver fat creates more aromatase. The aromatase steals more testosterone, and with lower testosterone you feel even more tired and gain more weight. It is a trap that has snared millions of men across the United Kingdom. They blame their age or their genetics. They resign themselves to a decline that they believe is inevitable. But I am here to tell you that it is not inevitable. It is a metabolic error. You are not broken. You are simply fueling your engine with the wrong grade of fuel. Your body is confused because you are sending it mixed signals. You are asking it to build muscle and burn fat, but you are feeding it the raw materials for storage and estrogen production. Once you understand that your liver is the gatekeeper of your testosterone, you look at food differently. You stop seeing a banana as just a healthy snack, and you start seeing it as a potential spike in insulin. You stop seeing fruit juice as a vitamin drink and start seeing it as a liquid injection of fructose. This shift in perspective is the first step towards reclaiming your power. We need to stop overloading the factory. We need to clear the backlog in the liver so it can get back to doing its job of regulating your hormones properly. Now that we understand the mechanism of the liver, we must identify the specific culprits that are causing this damage. These are the foods that I call the villains in disguise because they have excellent public relations. We have been told from childhood that fruit is universally good for us. And while that might be true for a growing child running around a playground, it is dangerous advice for a man over 50 trying to preserve his testosterone. The first offender on our list is perhaps the most popular fruit in the British household, which is the banana. Bananas are marketed as the perfect energy food, and you see tennis players eating them between sets. But unless you are playing 5 sets at Wimbledon, you likely do not need that concentrated hit of sugar. A ripe banana is essentially a sugar bomb. It digests incredibly fast. It hits your bloodstream and sends your insulin skyrocketing. For a man who is mostly sedentary, sitting in an office or a car, this energy has nowhere to go. It goes straight to the liver and begins the fat storage process we just discussed. It signals your body that winter is coming and it needs to store fat for survival. The second villain is even more deceptive, and that is grapes. I often see grapes served in hospitals or wellness retreats as if they are the epitome of health. But grapes are essentially bags of sugar water wrapped in a thin skin. They have very little fiber compared to other fruits, which means there is no breaking mechanism for the sugar. You can eat a large bowl of grapes in minutes without feeling full. That massive influx of fructose is a direct assault on your liver. It creates an immediate insulin response that crushes your testosterone production for hours. Then we have what I consider the most dangerous category of all, which is dried fruit. Raisins, dates, dried apricots, and sultanas, these are often sold as healthy snacks or added to muesli and porridge. But when you dry a fruit, you remove the water and concentrate the sugar. A handful of raisins packs the same sugar punch as a candy bar. It is extremely dense energy. Because they are small, you eat far more of them than you would if they were fresh. You would not eat 10 fresh apricots in one sitting, but you could easily eat 10 dried ones. This creates a massive metabolic load that your aging body simply cannot handle. Finally, we must talk about fruit juice. Whether it is orange juice, apple juice, or those expensive smoothies you buy at the shops. Juice is the quickest way to develop a fatty liver. When you juice a fruit, you strip away all the structural fiber. Fiber is the antidote to fructose. It slows down absorption and keeps your gut healthy. Without the fiber, you are drinking pure liquid sugar. It hits your liver instantly. It is metabolically identical to drinking a sugary soda. A glass of orange juice in the morning creates a hormonal crash that lasts all day. These fruits are not your friends. They are sabotaging your efforts. You might be avoiding cake and biscuits, thinking you are doing well, but if you are replacing them with dates and bananas, you are still keeping your insulin high. You are still feeding the aromatase enzyme. You are still converting your testosterone into estrogen. It is a hard truth to accept because we want to believe that natural means healthy. But arsenic is natural, and so is cyanide. Just because it grows on a tree does not mean it belongs in your metabolism. We need to become discerning. We need to stop trusting the label and start trusting the biochemistry. If you want to stay strong and lean, you must treat these high-sugar fruits with extreme caution. They are treats, not staples. They belong in the dessert category, not the health food category. By removing these villains from your daily routine, you lift a massive burden off your liver. We have cleared the battlefield of the enemies, so now we must bring in the allies. The good news is that you do not have to give up fruit entirely. You just have to choose the fruits that work with your biology rather than against it. There are specific fruits that act as medicine for the male body. They have a low glycemic index, which means they do not spike your insulin. They are rich in compounds that protect your testosterone and improve blood flow. These are the heroes of your diet. The first and most important group is the dark berries: blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. These are the crown jewels of men's health. They contain relatively low amounts of sugar, but they are packed with powerful antioxidants called flavonoids. These compounds help to reduce inflammation in the body. Inflammation is another silent killer of testosterone. When your body is inflamed, it is under stress, and it prioritizes survival over reproduction. By eating berries, you lower that inflammation and signal to your body that it is safe to produce hormones again. Next, we have the avocado. Botanically speaking, the avocado is a fruit even though we treat it like a vegetable. It is unique because it contains almost no sugar. Instead, it is packed with healthy monounsaturated fats. Remember that testosterone is made from cholesterol. Your body needs fat to manufacture it. The avocado provides the perfect raw material for hormone construction without spiking insulin at all. It also contains boron, a trace mineral that has been shown to help free up bound testosterone, making it active in the body. Then we have the pomegranate. This fruit has been revered in ancient cultures as a symbol of fertility, and modern science backs this up. Pomegranate contains compounds that protect nitric oxide in your blood. Nitric oxide is the gas that relaxes your blood vessels and allows for strong erections. It also improves blood flow to the testes, which ensures they are receiving all the nutrients they need to function. Drinking a small amount of pure pomegranate juice or eating the seeds can have a significant effect on your vascular health. Finally, let us not forget the humble lemon and lime. While you would not eat them whole, squeezing their juice into water is a powerful habit. The citric acid helps to support liver function. Since we know the liver is the processing center for hormones, keeping it clean and efficient is a priority. Lemon water blunts the blood sugar response of other foods and aids in digestion. It is a simple addition that pays dividends. These fruits send a completely different signal to your body. Instead of shouting store fat, they whisper burn fuel. Instead of raising estrogen, they protect testosterone. They allow you to enjoy the sweetness and the texture of fresh food without the metabolic penalty. It is about making the smarter choice. It is about looking at food as information. When you eat berries and avocado, you are sending a letter to your cells telling them to be strong and resilient. If you are finding this information useful and you are ready to start choosing your allies wisely, I want you to comment the number of the strong men below. By typing this phrase, you are making a commitment to yourself and showing this community that you are taking action. It is a small step, but it reinforces your mindset. Let us see how many men are ready to make the switch. Identifying the right fruits is only half the battle, because even the best fruit can cause a problem if you eat it the wrong way. There is a tactical secret that nutritional therapists often use with diabetic patients, but it applies perfectly to men who want to optimize their testosterone. This secret is called pairing. The golden rule is that you must never eat a carbohydrate alone. We call these naked carbs. When you eat a piece of fruit on its own, even if it is berries or an apple, it passes through the stomach very quickly. This rapid transit means the sugar enters the small intestine and then the bloodstream all at once. This creates a mini spike in insulin. It is not as bad as a banana, but it is still a spike. And remember, our goal is to keep insulin as flat as a calm lake. The solution is to dress your carbs. You must always pair your fruit with a source of protein or healthy fat. This changes the entire metabolic equation. Imagine your stomach is a mixing bowl. If you put berries in there with some Greek yogurt or a handful of almonds, the fat and protein mix with the sugar. Fat takes a long time to digest. It slows down the emptying of the stomach. This means the sugar from the fruit trickles into your bloodstream slowly, rather than flooding it. It is the difference between turning on a gentle garden hose and opening a fire hydrant. By slowing down the release of sugar, you prevent the insulin spike. Your pancreas does not have to panic. Your testosterone production is not interrupted. This pairing strategy also keeps you fuller for longer. When you eat an apple on its own, you are often hungry again in an hour because your blood sugar crashes. But if you eat an apple with a tablespoon of almond butter, you are satisfied for hours. You have steady energy and a steady mood. This is why the traditional continental breakfast of just fruit and juice is so damaging. It is all naked carbs. A better breakfast would be eggs with a side of avocado and a small portion of berries. The fat in the eggs and avocado acts as a buffer. It protects your liver from the fructose. This is strategic eating. It allows you to enjoy the nutritional benefits of fruit without the hormonal cost. You can apply this rule to every meal. If you are having a kiwi, have it with some walnuts. If you are having melon, wrap it in a slice of prosciutto, like the Italians do. They understood instinctively that fruit needs fat to be balanced. This simple habit of pairing transforms food from a potential enemy into a powerful fuel source. It puts you back in control of your blood sugar, and when you control your blood sugar, you control your hunger, your energy, and your hormones. You stop being a slave to cravings. You stop having that mid-afternoon slump where you can barely keep your eyes open. That slump is usually a sign that your insulin is crashing. By pairing your food, you eliminate the crash. You maintain a steady burn throughout the day, which is exactly what a man needs to be productive and powerful. It is a small adjustment that requires no extra money and very little extra time. But the impact on your biology is profound. You are essentially hacking your digestion to work in your favor. However, there is one more critical mistake that men make regarding fruit, and it has nothing to do with what you eat, but when you eat it. This next point is where most men unknowingly destroy their recovery. We have discussed the what and the how, but now we must discuss the when. Timing is the variable that turns a medicine into a poison. The human body runs on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour internal clock that dictates every biological process. Your insulin sensitivity, which is your ability to handle sugar, changes throughout the day. It is highest in the morning and after exercise, and it is lowest in the evening. This means that eating a bowl of fruit at 8 in the morning is handled very differently by your body than eating that same bowl of fruit at 8 at night. In the evening, your pancreas wants to rest. Your body is preparing for sleep and repair. It is shifting gears from energy storage to tissue maintenance. If you eat fruit late at night, perhaps as a healthy dessert while watching television, you are making a critical error. Because your insulin sensitivity is low, your body has to pump out massive amounts of insulin to deal with that sugar. This late-night insulin spike is disastrous for testosterone. Why? Because the majority of your testosterone is produced while you sleep, specifically during deep REM cycles. But here is the catch. You cannot produce peak testosterone if insulin and cortisol are high. When you eat sugar before bed, you raise your cortisol levels. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it is the direct antagonist of testosterone. They are like enemies on a seesaw. If cortisol is up, testosterone must go down. By eating fruit at night, you are keeping your body in a state of high alert. You might fall asleep, but the quality of that sleep will be poor. You will not reach the deep restorative stages where the magic happens. You are also preventing your body from releasing growth hormone, which is another vital anti-aging compound. Growth hormone is released in pulses during the night, but only if blood sugar is low. So that late-night fruit bowl effectively cancels out your body's natural rejuvenation session. You wake up feeling unrefreshed and older than you are because you missed your repair window. The best time to eat your fruit is in the morning or specifically around your workout. When you exercise, your muscles act like sponges, soaking up sugar from the blood without needing as much insulin. This is the perfect time to have your berries or your pomegranate. The fuel is used immediately for movement, rather than being stored as fat or disrupting your hormones. It is a simple rule. Keep your carbs around your activity and keep your evenings low carb. Dinner should be focused on protein and vegetables and healthy fats. This allows your blood sugar to drop naturally before bed, setting the stage for a night of high testosterone production. You sleep better, you burn more fat, and you wake up with that morning vigor that signals a healthy male body. If you want to master these timings and learn more about how to synchronize your life with your biology, please subscribe to Alpha Core Health 1. We are building a library of strategies designed to help you navigate aging with strength and dignity. Click that subscribe button so you never miss a briefing. We have covered a lot of ground, and now it is time to synthesize this into a lifestyle. We call this the Alpha Core Protocol. It is not a diet because diets imply a temporary fix. This is a strategy for long-term vitality. It is about reclaiming your dignity as a man by taking control of the signals you send to your body. It starts with a shift in mindset. You are no longer eating for pleasure alone, you are eating for purpose. The protocol is simple. First, we purge the villains. We remove the dried fruits, the fruit juices, and the sugar bombs like grapes and bananas from our daily routine. We stop treating them as health foods and start treating them as recreational drugs, to be used sparingly, if at all. This stops the daily assault on the liver and halts the production of new visceral fat. Second, we embrace the heroes. We stock our kitchen with blueberries, raspberries, avocados, and lemons. We view these as tools to lower inflammation and support our vascular system. We learn to enjoy the subtle tartness of real fruit rather than the overwhelming sweetness of engineered sugar. Our palate changes, and soon we find the old sugary foods to be sickly and unappealing. Third, we practice the art of pairing. We become alchemists in the kitchen, always combining our carbohydrates with proteins and fats. We ensure that every meal is balanced to provide a slow, steady release of energy. We stop the spikes and crashes that leave us weak and hungry. We maintain a calm metabolic state that allows testosterone to flourish. Fourth, we respect the clock. We front-load our carbohydrates earlier in the day when our bodies can use them. We close the kitchen early in the evening, allowing our insulin to drop and our growth hormone to rise. We prioritize sleep as the foundation of our masculinity, knowing that the work we do at the dinner table sets the stage for the recovery we get in bed. This is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. It is about understanding that every bite of food is a vote for the kind of man you want to be. Do you want to be the man who is tired, soft, and emotional, or do you want to be the man who is lean, sharp, and strong? The choice is made in the supermarket and in the kitchen. When you start living this way, the results can be remarkable. Men report that their brain fog lifts within days. Their energy levels stabilize. Over weeks, the belly fat starts to soften and shrink because the liver is finally unloading its burden. And slowly but surely, the libido returns. The morning wood returns. The confidence returns. You realize that you were never broken. You were just blocked. And now that you have removed the blockage, your body is doing what it was designed to do. It is healing itself. It is restoring its own power. This is the essence of Alpha Core Health. We believe in the innate ability of the male body to thrive at any age, provided it is given the right environment. If this protocol makes sense to you and you are ready to adopt these principles into your life, comment "Strong Men" below. Let us flood the comments section with a declaration of intent. Let us show that we are a group of men who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Your comment is your first step on this new path. We have journeyed together through the biochemistry of the male body and uncovered the truth about the foods we eat. We started by exposing the healthy breakfast mistake that so many men make, believing they are doing good while silently sabotaging their hormones. We learned how the liver processes fructose and how an overloaded liver becomes a factory for visceral fat and estrogen. We identified the deceptive fruits that act as villains, spiking insulin and stealing testosterone, and we celebrated the hero fruits that protect and nourish our masculinity. We also mastered the tactical elements of nutrition. We learned the importance of pairing carbs with fats and proteins to buffer the insulin response. We discovered the critical importance of timing, understanding that eating fruit late at night disrupts the deep sleep cycles where our hormones are replenished. And finally, we brought it all together in the Alpha Core Protocol, a sustainable lifestyle strategy designed to optimize your health and restore your vitality. This knowledge is power, but only if it is applied. It is easy to watch a video and nod along, but the real change happens when you close this screen and walk into your kitchen. It happens when you choose the berries over the banana. It happens when you say no to the fruit juice. It happens when you decide that your health is worth more than a moment of sweetness. I want you to remember that aging is not a disease. It is a natural process, but feeling weak and tired is not a requirement of aging. You have the ability to influence how you age. You have the tools to keep your engine running smoothly for decades to come. It requires discipline and it requires knowledge, but the rewards are immeasurable. A strong body supports a strong mind and a strong spirit. It allows you to show up for your family, your work, and yourself with presence and power. However, I must be very clear about the nature of this advice. The information I have shared with you today is based on general principles of nutrition and physiology. It is intended for educational purposes to help you make better lifestyle choices. But I am not your personal doctor. Every man watching this has a unique medical history. Some of you may have specific conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, or other metabolic disorders that require specialized care. Therefore, this video does not replace the advice of a qualified medical professional. Before you make any significant changes to your diet, especially if you are on medication, you must consult with your GP or a certified healthcare provider here in the UK. They can look at your individual blood work and guide you safely. Never stop taking prescribed medication without their supervision. Our goal at Alpha Core Health is to work alongside your medical care, not to replace it. We provide the strategy, but your doctor provides the safety net. Use this information to ask better questions during your next appointment. Take charge of your health by being an informed patient. That is what a strong man does. He takes responsibility for his well-being and seeks the best counsel available. I want to thank you for spending this time with me. Your attention is valuable, and I honor your commitment to learning. We are building a community here, a brotherhood of men who are rewriting the narrative of aging. We are proving that life after 50 can be the strongest and most fulfilling chapter yet. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments. How is your current health affecting your life? Are you struggling with energy or weight? Have you tried changing your diet before? Let us know your story. Comment specifically about your health goals so we can support each other. We read every comment because this community is the heart of this channel. And finally, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to Alpha Core Health 1. We have many more videos coming that will dive deep into exercise, sleep, stress management, and everything else you need to know to stay at the top of your game. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay informed, and stay strong.